Welcome viewers to Souldin of the Grin Brothers E3 2015 Tea Time Talks. I hope you enjoy the following videos as Souldin of the Grin Brothers shares his thoughts on each of the E3 conferences. We shall now begin. Welcome everybody, Souldin of the Grin Brothers here, and it's time for a segment of E3 2015 Tea Time Talks. I have just this moment finished watching the Microsoft conference, which went on for a fair bit. I mean, wow, that's like, only about an hour and a half actually. Felt longer than that for some reason. In any case, I've just watched Microsoft conference at the point I'm recording this, and I'm willing to share my thoughts instantly. With one of the other conferences, it was sort of like early in the morning. I ended up going to sleep the moment it sort of finished, so I had a bit of delay for it. This this Tea Time E3 2015 Tea Time segment is straight off the bat. What did I think of the Microsoft conference? Well, to summarise, E3 2014, I felt Microsoft had the best conference of all of them. A lot of people say Nintendo did, but I felt Microsoft did. And it was that conference which convinced me to get an Xbox One. Ori and the Blind Forest was beautiful, and Sunset Overdrive had me grinning from ear to ear. If that E3 was replaced by E3 2015, I would not have got a Xbox One. It didn't impress me, this year's Microsoft E3. That's not to say I'd get another console, but I'd have probably held off my decision to get an Xbox One at that point in time. I mean, it was hard. It was always going to be a sort of high bar to try and reach, because as I noted, the last year's E3 convinced me to get an Xbox One. Ori and the Blind Forest was there. Sunset Overdrive was there. Scalebound was shown off for the first time, although it was, not a gameplay trailer. Phantom Dust was revived, which was pretty cool to see Microsoft revive one of their IPs. The Halo Master Chief Collection seemed like a pretty big thing. That's a pretty impressive collection pack. And there was just a lot more excitement with it. Fable Legends was, I like Fable, so that was also there. Was sort of showing off some more last year. And while some of those things have carried over, Fable Legends was at this E3. Because I've seen it so many times, it doesn't have quite the sort of impact and excitement to it. I love the look of Cuphead, an indie game that is releasing exclusively for Xbox One. It sort of has this like old Disney-style cartoon sort of art style to it, and it looks wonderful. But I'd already seen that last year, and it had a little less impact this year. I mean, they had more time for it this year, but it still felt less impactful. So, where shall I begin with what I saw? Well, I thought that Microsoft had a lot up their sleeve when they started things off with Halo 5. I'm not sort of big into the Halo series, but I've always liked its lore and setting, and my brothers like to play it. And Halo 5 looked impressive. It looked fun. Admittedly, it's a first-person shooter, so I'd unlikely to have any fun with it, but it looks really impressive, looks really good, and I felt it was a great way to start off the sort of conference. Some other things there were mentioned at the conference that were of particular note for me. Again, Cuphead was shown off again and had more time. And Fable Legends got yet another trailer, but as I know, they had a little less of an impact this time. Fable Legends, however, has been confirmed for this holiday release date, which has taken an awful long time for a game they've considered releasing in the Killer Instinct model. But in any case, I still like the look of the game. The concept seems more like it should be suited for the Wii than the Xbox One, but I'm still looking forward to Fable Legends. A really big thing that was shown off, though, was Rare Replay. Sure, it's not the new Jet Force Gemini or Cameo game I was hoping for, In fact, it's not the new sort of installment of an old Rare LP that I think many people were hoping for. But it once again shows how Microsoft really can pack in a lot into a collection. I mean, the Halo Master Chief Collection seemed impressive with, 4 games as part of the package. But the Rare Replay is 30 games. Admittedly, a lot of these are probably going to be the smaller games that Rare made back on the NES and the Super NES, but of course it's not including any of their sort of games they don't have the IP for, such as Donkey Kong Country or GoldenEye. But it's still a collection of many impressive Rare games. Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, and ones which interest me more, such as Cameo, Jet Force Gemini, and Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's apparently going to be very cheap. In America, it's $30. 30 games for only $30, single disc, and it's coming out in August. That is mind blowing. That is great value for such little money when you consider how amazing a lot of these Rare games are. And I'll be so happy to be able to play Jet Force Gemini on the Xbox One. That'll be so good. Rare also showed off a new game, Sea of Thieves. It looks very nice, but doesn't really interest me. It looks like it may be an MMO or have this big online focus, and that just puts me off. I mean, and also it's first person, and I'm not really a big fan of first person games. Now, if that was like a third person pirating game, well, okay, I'd think that they were, given the graphic style, that they were trying to basically make Wind Waker for the Xbox One, but Wind Waker for the Xbox One would actually be a sort of awesome sort of thing to rip off. I don't mind if you rip off Wind Waker, because that would mean that I'd get to play a Legend of Zelda Wind Waker style game on the Xbox One, and that'd be fantastic. But yeah, that didn't quite interest me enough. Rise of the Tomb Raider, really nice trailer shown off. It seems a bit strange, given that a lot of the games being shown off were games that I'm expecting to see at the other conferences. I mean, EA came on board, showed off Plants vs. Zombies 2, Garden Warfare 2. Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2. And Bethesda showed off Fallout 4. Ubisoft showed off The Division. And Square Enix, they showed off The Rise of Tomb Raider. And it's like, well, Rise of the Tomb Raider kind of makes sense. It's an exclusive. But still, it's like, you've each got your own conference. Why are you taking up time? That should have all been for Microsoft time. That sort of time devoted to those guys should have been done to show off more of Scalebound and Quantum Break and Crackdown. Particularly Scalebound and Quantum Break. These were 2 games I'm actually really looking forward to. And they weren't there at all. Apparently they're being sort of pushed back to like Gamescom or something like that. I don't know. I'll put up the name of the convention or the conference thingy up on the screen at this point. But yeah, they weren't there. And instead you got games which I'm inevitably going to see in the other conferences. I already saw Fallout 4 in the Bethesda conference. An interesting thing revealed quite early on was Recall. No gameplay footage was shown of it, unfortunately. But it's being made by Kenji Inafune, aka creator of Mega Man, as well as the people who left Retro Studios to form, I think it's Armature? So yeah, they basically had in the tag from Kenji Inafune and the creator of Metroid Prime. Yeah, fun things to put in the opening for a Microsoft game. Well, again, given the Rare collection, most of it were games on the Nintendo system, so there's that. But Recall looks pretty cool in concept, but no gameplay footage was shown, so it's hard to really judge it at the moment. I'll put myself on intrigue. But yeah, there wasn't really a lot for me at this E3 conference, and not much delving into the games I'm personally interested in. For instance, I'd have loved to have a much bigger in-depth tutorial on Fable Legends. One last tutorial before a sooner than holiday release. I mean, gosh, that's a long while to wait. That said, there was one thing that Microsoft did that was really good. It's the best part of their conference, and it's simply amazing that they've done it. Admittedly, it's catch-up when you compare it to Nintendo, but it certainly, if I was still wondering whether to get an Xbox One or PS4, and of course, if I'd actually seen the sort of like last year's sort of thing, say the Xbox One had Sunset Overdrive and Ori in the Blind Forest at this point, yeah. And then this information came out. It's like, yeah, Xbox One definitely. Xbox One is getting backwards compatibility with all of its Xbox 360 games. From what I hear, you'll be able to download them digitally, but all your retail Xbox 360 games playable on the Xbox One. I may have to look into some Xbox 360 exclusives then. There's a couple of RPGs on the Xbox 360 I think I'll have a look into and have a fun time playing on my Xbox One. Yeah, it kind of made a lot of the remasters pointless. They're making a remaster of the first Gears of War, which seems really pointless now that you got backwards compatibility on Xbox One. But they're also making Gears of War 4, which looked rather different from most Gears of War games. I mean, Gears of War, sort of, from what I've seen in the trailers, always kind of struck me more as effectively like a third-person Doom in a sort of feeling of, the really adrenaline-filled. This kind of made me feel like Gears of War was crossing over with Castlevania in a weird way. The setting just made it perfect for that. But yeah, Gears of War 4 being made. But yeah, the biggest thing Microsoft had on offer was backwards compatibility. Xbox One will now be able to play Xbox 360 games. I'd have loved it if they made it so the Xbox One was able to play the original Xbox games, as confusing as that would be for people trying to buy Xbox One games. Because then I could track down a copy of the original Blinks and play on the Xbox One. Because I never grew up on Xbox, but I've played Blinks before, and oh gosh, I love Blinks. But yeah, that was Microsoft's conference. At best, it was only okay, in my opinion. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but too much of it was from other people. Microsoft were really hyping up how they had so many first-party IPs. And 3 of their IPs they have weren't at their E3 conference, because they shipped them off to Gamescom or Gamercom or whatever. Again, pop up on screen the place. Yeah, because Scalebound, Quantum Break, Crackdown would be brilliant to have seen there, but they weren't there. They weren't there at all. And to really, hold me off in terms of purely game, there is in game, not like the sort of features that backwards compatibility offers. There's Fable Legends, again. There's Cuphead, again. And Rare Replay, which consists of lots of games I've already played. Yeah, that was a real bummer of E3 this year. They devoted quite a bit of time to like the micro HoloLens. It's like, I don't care about this sort of additional hardware thingy. I mean, it was interesting enough when you were originally trying to go over the Kinect, but you're trying to juggle too many balls here. In fact, nothing about the Kinect was talked about, which is kind of a shame. I think the Kinect could actually work well for making video games if you actually used it in tandem with a controller. Don't, completely rely on it. Because, no, that'd be, unless you're doing pie games, because, that'd be kind of ridiculous. But, like touchscreens with no buttons. But yeah, I'm frankly rather disappointed. Hopefully I'll enjoy Rare Replay and Fable Legends, and hopefully I'll look into this other convention thing that's going on, and have a good time seeing Quantum Break and, more importantly, Scalebound. I'd have also liked to see some Phantom Dust, but I hear that's gone through some development problems with whoever's making it and such. So, that's my thoughts on the Microsoft E3 conference. Please feel free to share your own thoughts in the comments below, or make a video and sort of share it with me or link me to it. So then, I hope you enjoyed. Cheerio.